It should be clear to everyone by now the primary objective of the Federal Reserve is to make the wealthy far wealthier and leave everyone else behind. In order to accomplish this, it must be complicit with government to continue borrowing to provide a false sense of security to the middle class in order to get them to spend more and at the end of the day have less in real terms. So long as the bulk of the middle class choose to go to restaurants and not being self-sufficient, choose to pay for cable television, choose to pay for sporting events, music events, and the like as opposed to spending as little as possible and barter, curbing the wealth transfer to the wealthy, governmental and central bank policies are able to work together to keep society from launching a revolution and to make the wealthy much more wealthy on the backs of the poor and middle class. The wealth divide is at a record high. With the lowering of interest rates, it will promote the widening of the wealth divide even further, hurting the economy more and destroying society even more. All the government assistance for the poor and middle class and any benefit you can think of, that money gravitates to the wealthy in either ordinary business operations or in rent. Yes, housing rent was a business, but a special type of business. The same thing goes for the stock market. The clueless middle class thinks the upward stock market manipulation is helping them by propping up their 401k accounts, and yet in real terms pushes down this class of people as the inflation produced by giving the wealthy vast disproportionate gains wipes away the middle class wealth in real terms. Seems I'd have to pound this into people to get them to realize the 401k accounts are a sham. By design, 401k accounts enabled the wealthy to make huge gains in spite of mere nominal gains by many in the middle class, which ends up being less in real terms. All the lying propaganda of the past 10 years of a booming economy I hope backfires on the Federal Reserve. They have lost much credibility in suppressing interest rates to such incredibly low levels, and for so long. Had the economy really been booming, the interest rates would have or should have gone up fast, but they didn't. With interest rates being lowered now, even the most ignorant should be woken up now to realize there never was a booming economy over the past 10 years. I demonstrate in another video that the real GDP growth rate per capita during all these years was negative. Stock valuations are fully 4 to 8 times too high, with small caps at the high end. In my next video I will go into why the middle class should be shorting the market almost exclusively, but right now, I or we can only hope that forces outside of the Federal Reserve distrust the monetary policies and of the currency of the United States to render the Fed's actions as moot. The stock market needs to come down. Housing prices need to come down. Trying so hard to artificially prop up the economy by pumping up the stock market does not work, yet many have been fooled by seeing their nominal, I repeat, nominal gains, which in real terms is less than before the outlandish upward manipulation. Look at those who heavily relied on bank interest in their retirement years, or even the most ardent younger savers who have been clobbered by the Federal Reserve hijacking their bank interest. I'm out 30,000 because of those dummies in charge of the Fed. I am just one of tens of millions who are adversely affected by the Fed, but perhaps could be the biggest victim of the Fed's anti-stimulus policies, as not only am I relatively poor but saved like probably no one else you know. I put my money where my mouth is in regards to the ludicrously overpriced stock market. I have immense knowledge on stock valuations and am a proven trader able to double my money going against the market in a matter of months, and yet I have been unjustly forced to lose for 10 long arduous years. Others may not have been so unfairly targeted by the Fed, but plenty still lost a considerable amount because of the ruinous policies of the past 10 years. We have structural problems that the Federal Reserve is unable to do anything about. The Fed cannot bring down the compensation of overpaid government employees. The Fed cannot make housing more affordable. Lowering interest rates does not make housing more affordable, but many think this is so. You have to put everything into perspective and see the lower wages on a real basis, the actual high unemployment, the increases in housing taxes to fund overpaid government employees, and more. We need policies directed at lowering the cost of living for the masses, and the Fed does all it can to go against this. Government leaders do not address this apart from dumb band-aid help to the poor. The Fed cannot make a lower legal work. The Fed cannot discourage outsourcing or minimize H-1B visa abuses. The Fed cannot put a curb to the mergers and acquisitions that hurts society. What the Fed does do is ruinous. Always too late to raise interest rates, and maybe with the wicked Fed's policies galvanized by Greenspan and Bernanke, we are at the end of the world as we know it, as their actions are destroying the middle class. My message to the Federal Reserve: let the stock market fall. Stop this dumb game that is causing enormous harm.